All right, everybody. Here we go. All right, everybody started to join us. Good to see you guys. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome. It is 56 degrees here in Atlanta, or east of Atlanta. Where's everybody else from? Where are you guys from? Drop it in the chat. Let me know where you guys are from. Chat's disabled, huh? All right, let's see here. Okay, so let's put it in the Q&A. That's what I meant. Put it in the Q&A. All right, well, hold on. Let me make it for everyone. Let's see here. There we go. Let's see. See if you guys can drop in the chat there. Chat still disabled. Awesome. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Man, I just flipped a little switch. Q&A word. Yeah, we'll just stick with the Q&A, I reckon. How about that? There is always, all right, Long Beach, California, nice. There is always something up with Zoom, and part of maybe it's my fault, but I don't think I've been in a Zoom webinar or meeting yet that has just gone off without a hitch. Either the microphone's not working or your camera's not working. I don't know that since COVID, even through COVID, you would think we would all be, you think we'd all be pros at this, but not the case. Yep, Nicole, you're right. Tag will always going to be acting up at some point, for sure. Dallas, North Atlanta, Long Beach, Northern Arizona. Is it like? Oh well, Northern Arizona. It's probably not 1,000 degrees like it is in Southern Arizona. One of our teams from Arizona, and like she would be like, "Oh, it's only 107 today. It's kind of cooling off," which makes me 15 to 20 degrees cooler than Phoenix. Ugh. Hawaii. Seriously? Yeah. It won't always let you sign in. Yeah. Zoom is just, I've tried to get away from Zoom. I've tried to move to Google Meets. I've tried to move to other platforms, and I just always end up back at Zoom because it integrates with stuff. And that tends to be the reason that we end up back there. But look, it's 103. We'll have a few more people joining us, but I want to go ahead and honor your time. Thank you guys so much for being here. That means a lot. I know, especially, I don't know what everyone's different role is at the church. If you want to drop that in the Q&A, I would be interested just to hear what your role is at the church, senior pastor, volunteer, you're the communications person. So if you want to drop that in, awesome. Would love to know kind of who we're talking with here. But my prayer is that this is super helpful for you. I want to make it super practical, and I don't want to waste any of your time. I want to make sure that when you're done with this, you're like, okay, I'm glad I carved out like 45 minutes to hang with Jono, and you actually got something from it. So I promise not to waste your time. I'll try not to talk too fast. And then even when we're done, because there's a lot I want to give you, but I'm going to send you. We'll email out all my slides because there's a lot of text in there, and some of it I think is something that you're just going to need to have in front of you when you sit down to create some ads and follow step by step. So I'm going to walk you through the basics, and then I'm going to give the rest to you. So definitely senior pastor, IT team, volunteer, mission organization, helping partner in church, family ministry director. Very cool. Very cool. So real quick, just about me, so you know who you're talking to. If you haven't, if we're not friends on Facebook or whatever, my name is Jonathan Long. Everybody calls me Jono, except my mom. It's Jono. It's not Jono or Jonah or several different things I get called. It's Jono. It's just a nickname. Started in Bible college, I reckon. So, so me and my wife Heather, we have 5 children. We've been married 22 years. We've got 5 children. One's adopted, 4 are biological. So we got a 24-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 14-year-old who is taller than me. And he's like 5'11". It's ridiculous. And he can't stop eating. And he wears like a size 13 shoe. It's ridiculous. And then we have another, a 12-year-old. So that's my family. Like I said, we're over here in east of Atlanta. We're actually pretty close to the University of Georgia, where my daughter goes. Go Dogs. Except for this past weekend, not such a good weekend for the Georgia Bulldogs. If you're into college football, not such a good week for UGA. So anyway, that's me. I felt the Lord calling me into full-time ministry when I was 19. And so I went to Bible college. I became the intern, the youth ministry intern at my church here in Loganville, Georgia, when I was 19, then went to my first full-time position later that year. And so was a full-time youth pastor until 2020. Started doing this stuff on the side back in like 2013. Started just doing social media for some friends that own businesses, some painters, electricians. Then that grew into building websites, which grew into doing some search engine optimization and learning Facebook ads and learning Google ads and all that stuff. So by about 2018, it really was my primary source of income. And I was a youth pastor with 5 kids and a wife and all that stuff. So 2019, I went part-time at the church. We hired an intern to raise up. And then 2020, in January of 2020, we decided that March 30th would be my last day and that we would hand the reins over to the intern. But actually, COVID bumped that up to like March 11th. So anyway, that's the deal. So in full-time local church ministry for just about all of my adult life, I've only been a civilian for the past 3 years, still volunteer at the church. And so we're still involved there. My kids are in the youth group. So I'm not just some guy that started a marketing company. I'm a youth pastor at heart. I love the local church. I think a lot of guys who do what I do, as far as helping the church with marketing, I don't know who all you follow on social media, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but when I was on church staff and I would hear a lot of people like giving me tips on social media or my website or stuff, I always felt like they were talking down to me. I always felt like they were saying stuff like, oh my gosh, why do churches do this? Oh my gosh, church marketing sucks. Like that was actually the name of an Instagram account. May still be. It's a popular hashtag on Instagram. And so there was all this stuff just like that I just felt was condescending towards the church. And just, it always rubbed me the wrong way. And so I want you to hear me say, I love the church. I want to see the church grow. And I don't want to be critical of the church. There are lots of things that churches could do way better on. And there's lots of things that secular businesses could do way better on. There's lots of things I could do way better on. So I just want to help the church. And so today I want to help you guys do Facebook ads. Here's why we're doing this. We're going to give you how to do some Facebook ads. And I'm going to take you through the steps because I want to see you have successful Facebook ads, because here's what I hear a lot. Here's the conversation that we hear like all the time with people who are interested. They're calling us, hey, we want to do some marketing. And so I start mentioning Facebook ads, which honestly is the most effective thing, one of the most effective things that we do for churches, just in an ongoing sense. And when I start throwing out Facebook ads, everybody has kind of piddled with dabbled with Facebook ads, and they took a post that did kind of well and gave Facebook $25 to boost it. And you think maybe it did well, or we boosted this special event, or we did an ad for our night of worship or our Christmas Eve or our Easter service. And we think it worked. There were some extra people. We didn't really ask them how they found out about us. And so we don't really know if it worked. And the truth is, if there's not a strategy behind it, it's really easy to waste money. It's really easy just to throw something. Sometimes, you throw a little junk at the wall, and sometimes some of it will stick, right? And so that probably happens. But I imagine if you've dabbled with Facebook ads at all, you've probably been discouraged and you've probably felt like you wasted money and you're not sure, but it's got to work because people are spending millions of dollars on Facebook ads. Everybody's doing them. When you're on Facebook or Instagram, and by the way, if I say Facebook ads, I'm talking Facebook and Instagram ads. I'm still not in the habit of saying Meta yet, so just bear with me, but I'm talking about Meta, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. So anyway, they work. They undoubtedly work, but they don't work just kind of leaving it on the surface. And so if you don't dive in and kind of figure out some of the strategies, and I'm just going to give those to you because I want to help you. I want to help you make these work for Christmas. Like I said, I like going to workshops like this. I like learning, but a lot of times they just turn into a sales pitch. I feel like they give me a little something that's almost helpful, and then it turns into a sales pitch and like, hey, now if you'll buy this, then this little piece of advice will make sense. And so this is not that. Okay, this is not a sales pitch. This is literally me telling you how to do some ads. If you were to get off here and say, John, I need you to make Christmas ads for us. We've got so many Christmas ads that we're making right now that like I don't think we could even get yours up in time for Christmas. So I'm not gonna make a sales pitch. Okay, if you needed help with something else, you needed help with ongoing stuff. In the future, you need a new website, whatever. Yeah, we can definitely help with that. Let's talk about that sometime. But I promise this wouldn't be a sales pitch. So I'm gonna hush about that. All right. So let's jump in now. Here we go. We're gonna share my screen, and we're gonna have another opportunity for technical difficulty. So I need y'all to let me know in the chat or in the Q&A, can you see my screen that says FaithWorks Marketing Christmas ads for your church? Tell me what you're seeing. Anyone at all? Oh, there we go. Oh, beautiful slide. Oh, even better. All right, y'all got it. And I assume you can still see me, so you can see me and the slide, because we don't want you to miss out on seeing this face. So great. All right. Well, let's get rolling here. Okay. So Christmas ads for your church. And by the way, I'm throwing out tips almost every day on the socials. So if you want to follow me on Instagram at John O'Long, Facebook, find me at John O'Long, TikTok at John O'Long. I put the same stuff on all three of them, so there's no need for you to go follow on all three. But would love to stay in touch and get to know you a little bit better. And yeah, so follow me, and I will give you as much free advice as I possibly can. All right, so here's what we're going to break down today. So Facebook and Instagram ads or meta ads. We're going to talk about planning a plan a visit form, or a check out our church form is what Facebook would call, Meta would call a lead form. We'll look at that. And then when you combine all this, when you combine these ads with a form that they can fill out on Facebook, and you combine that with some personalized follow-up, then you end up with new people at your Christmas service or your Christmas events or whatever, whatever it is. So here's what you're going to need to get together. So if you get through this today and it's like, all right, we're going to get some ads going. We're 20 days before Christmas. That's plenty of time. I would say even up to 10 days before Christmas, you could get these ads going. So definitely you're ahead of the game. And I know you've got a million other things going on, but this would be a really good thing for you to do. But a few things to go ahead and start gathering when we're done here is writing some engaging ad content. I'm going to give you some samples. Okay. And you can just take it if you want. Well, I'm sorry, that's the ad text. The ad content is going to be some pictures, some good pictures, and some video, Christmassy, all that stuff. And then resources for ad spend. You're going to need a little bit of money. You're going to have to give Meta some money to show this stuff. So you're going to need some creative assets. You're going to need some text that we're going to help you with. And then you're going to need some money to spend directly with Facebook. And of course, you're going to need access to the Facebook ad account and all the stuff for your church. Okay. So let's talk ad content, okay? And you can screenshot these if you want, but like I said, we're gonna email you all of these so that you have these, and if you want to go back and kind of use it as a checklist as you do this. What I would say is you're going to want a couple of engaging types of content. One, you're going to want to create an invite video, and two, you're going to want to get an image, at least one image. And so this is kind of minimum. Facebook likes to have lots of options. And I know everyone will tell you got to do video is king, but I don't know if any of you have been served my ads where I have this book. I have a book called Church Near Me, and it's not in focus there, but I have a couple videos where I'm like, hey, I'll send you my book for free. You just pay shipping. And I thought it was really great. And everybody that buys this book, I just took a picture with my phone of it sitting in that mustard yellow chair over there. Everybody responds to that ad. No one responds to the video of me. So I wouldn't, don't sell yourself short on some good photos, because pictures work. But as far as the video goes, first thing we want you to do is make an invite video. We want to film it like an Instagram reel, like a TikTok. And so what I mean by that, one is it's going to be vertical. You're going to film it vertical, and you want to make it a minute or less. The shorter, the better. If you can get everything out that you need to get out in 15, 20 seconds, that's awesome. But make it real, make it true to your church, out in front of your church. If there's some Christmas decorations, and so somebody who's visible at the church needs to make this video similar, just something like, hey, this is Pastor Jono at FaithWorks Church. We've got an amazing Christmas Eve service coming up on December 24th, right? We don't want it to look too polished. Now, in churches do a really good job. A lot of churches do a really good job with their video production. You've got some really skilled volunteers who are really good at video, and churches can crank out some pretty awesome video. But that awesome video on a news feed tends to look like an ad. And if you are anything like me, you tend to scroll past ads. You slow down when it's a little more, when it's less polished, when it looks more just like a post of somebody that grabs your attention. And so that's why we're saying selfie style video. Don't get too fancy with it. Don't get too flashy. Don't get worked up. Don't let the video guys talk you into spending hours and hours on this video. The video should take like 5 minutes to make. Okay. Then go grab a few images, at least one, but images that you have gotten recently, or maybe from Christmas last year. But I would suggest that they be images that show the life of your church, the kids playing a Christmas game, kids smiling, people hugging in the lobby or greeting in the lobby. I think a lot of times we kind of use pictures that are cool shots, but they're really unrealistic perspectives of what it's like to be in the church. For example, climbing up in the rafters and getting this really cool panoramic shot of the entire deal, or having a drone fly over the parking lot. Those look cool, but nobody ever is going to have that vantage point of your church. So I think what we need to show, just even in just our social media posting, our ongoing social media posting, is show people what it's like to walk in, show people what it's like to drop their kids off from their perspective, show them what the service looks like from 3 rows from the back, because that's probably where they're going to be sitting. So make that invite video, get some photos, keep it simple. Don't do too much. Make sure it's easy to understand. Make sure the audio is clear, that the person speaking can be understood by one of those nerdy little TikTok mics if you've got to. And because the audio is much better, but there's no matter how great the video is, if they can't understand what the video is saying, then you're kind of sunk. So make sure that the audio is good. Okay. These are a couple of videos here. They're playing simultaneously. Sorry about that. But these are just kind of sample videos. You can see these are a couple of our clients, Journey Church in South Carolina and 902 Church over in North Carolina. And you can see these are not fancy schmancy videos, right? These are just simple. And these work. These guys get people signing up to come to their church every Sunday. So don't get too worked up about it not being fancy. All right. So let's talk about the ad text. Okay. The ad text. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Here we go. Most of the ads that we're going to use, and I would suggest that you use kind of this formula, that there's a hook, something that grabs their attention really quick at the top, and that goes for the actual video and the text. But in this part, we're talking about the text. Then you've got a body of text, and then there's going to be a call to action, learn more, sign up, that sort of thing. So the body and the call to action typically stay the same throughout the different ad variations, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that in a minute. But the hook is going to change. Whether it be, hey, Loganville families, I'm in the town of Loganville. Hey, Loganville families, that may be the hook. Or we're saving a seat for you at Journey Church. Like that's a hook. And so when you've got multiple hooks, you end up with all these different variations of the ads, because now you've got a couple different pictures, you got a couple different videos if you go that far with it. And you can end up with lots of different variations. And Facebook loves that because now, and you're going to love it because you're going to notice that this hook plus this video performed better than this other hook with this photo. But that hook that performed well with the video, it may not work so well with the picture, and vice versa. So you start seeing the different ads and how they're working together. And then as time goes on, talk about this in a minute, you can start turning off the versions that aren't working. And then you end up, with just the highest performing ads. And that's what we're talking about when we say optimizing. But so the body and the call to action typically stay the same, but the hook changes. So this allows us to create these multiple variations, and then you're going to need headlines and descriptions. And so we use a couple different variations of headlines, but generally we keep the date and the service times in the description and keep those the same. So let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. And if any questions pop up, feel free to throw those in the Q&A. Here are some hook examples, okay? This is the hook. I'm talking about the text at the very top of the ad, what you're going to see. Sometimes, we're going to have a lot of text, but Facebook is going to shrink it down where you would have to click more to see the rest of it. So we're talking about that part that's going to show. So some really good examples that we've seen work would be looking for a family-focused church in the Atlanta area for Christmas. Hey, Atlanta, do you have plans to be a part of a Christmas service yet? Hey, Atlanta, Christmas is the perfect time to get the family together at church. And then you can, there's some optional variations, and you could get creative with this. Come up with a bunch of them and see what works. And then you've got this other spot in the ad to do headlines and link descriptions. And I'm going to show you where those go here in just a second. But some good headline / link descriptions would be, the headline would be December 25th, Christmas service at Journey Church. The description is plan your visit. Okay. And so these are some options for headlines and link descriptions that we think work really well. And I would encourage you to use those and make them your own. You could probably come up with some better ones. So real quick, this is the caption. This is where the hook is going to show. But when you put more than just this text, the way Meta tends to scrunch these things up, especially in news feeds, you got to remember there's multiple places these ads are going to show up. They're going to show up in Instagram stories, Instagram reels. They're going to show up in Facebook reels, Facebook stories, Facebook newsfeed. They'll even show up in marketplace. So they're going to look a little bit different everywhere they end up. And so there's not a whole lot you can do about that. So you just want to make sure that very first thing that shows really well, and that it is a hook. All right. And so we're talking about the caption, and the hook is going to go up here. Then when we say headline, we're talking about this bold text right here. So it's not very long. You don't have a ton of space. You don't want it to get cut off. And so we keep it short. And in this case, we went with We're Unwrapping Joy. That works with the theme that they're doing for Christmas. Then you have a link description. You're invited to Christmas. Now, in this particular placement, it did get cut off. That's not ideal, but in most of the placements, you've got a little bit more length there. You got a little bit more room there, so it's not really that big of a deal. And then the call to action is learn more. Now, there are other call to action options. There are sign up, there are visit website. There's lots of them. We 95% of the time go with learn more, just because one, that's just what every social media guru suggests. Two, psychologically, it's a little less commitment. I think people are afraid that if the button says sign up, I think less people click on it because they think clicking that sign up button, for all they know, might just go ahead and sign them up. And they're not quite ready to commit right there. They want to read a little bit more. So we usually go with the learn more. You could test this, but I would suggest the learn more. And so now the extended ad text that's going to show up, if you click see more, we're going to have a lot more text. Not everybody's going to read this. A lot will. One of the other things that this does is it gives, remember, there's an algorithm here. And one of the things that algorithms do is they read text. And so the way that Facebook is going to help make your audience better and show this stuff to the right people, you can't go target. You used to be able to, but you can't anymore go target, like, I want to show this to people interested in Jesus. I want to show this to people who claim to be Christian. Like back in the day, you had a lot more options when it came to targeting. You can't do that anymore. You can't target anyone based on religious beliefs or gender identity, any of those types of things, right? But what you can do is make the text overtly Christian. Guess who can target Christians? Facebook and Instagram. The Meta can target Christians. They know who the Christians are because the Christians are following other Christian pages. The Christians are clicking like on that. So you've got that going on. The other thing is we're not just targeting people who are already Christians. We're targeting people who are interested in just maybe being a part of a Christmas service. And there could be a lot of reasons for that. Maybe they just moved to town and they don't know anybody and they don't have a church. Maybe they grew up in church, they took a break, now they've got kids and they've decided because grandmama took them to church, they want to raise their kids in church. Millions of reasons that someone who is not going to church may be interested in finding your ad. And you want to give Facebook every opportunity to understand what this ad is about, and so that they can show people this ad based on what Facebook knows about people. And you and I both know that Facebook knows a lot about people. Speaking of, I just read an article, and there's a big national advertising agency that is selling active listening ads, and you can hire them to create ads based on what the apps on your phone pick up. And we've kind of known that's going on, but no one's really ever overtly admitted it. I know this is a little bit off topic. Maybe you want to hire them for some Christmas ads for them to listen to anyone who says, man, we ought to go to church. Then you could show them ads. This company will do it. But that is scary. But they are coming out saying, yep, we are listening. We can, if someone says, I'm sick of this old car, then they're going to start seeing ads for new cars, which is kind of freaky, kind of spooky. So anyway, these are what some completed ads look like. Now I'm going to take you through in just a second. I'm going to take you through like how to set these ads up. All right. But these are a few more examples of what the ads are going to look like on Facebook. Again, you're going to see that they're going to show in different, placements. And so sometimes these vertical videos are going to have, a little space on the side. And that's all okay. Facebook is good about, Meta is good about making all those work. So here's one of the questions that we get. How much should I spend on ads? I would recommend that you spend $5, like minimum. I would say the minimum viable spend is probably $5 a day. That's $150 a month. You're going to be discouraged and probably not happy with the results if you try to do something for $3 a day. Or $2 a day, or just this blanket, hey, they gave me $50, unless you're just doing 10 days. So I would say start at $5 a day, but honestly, get as much as you can, because a few things happen when you've got a good budget. The algorithm learns faster because it's spending more money, more people are engaging with it. It gathers more information, and Facebook is all about making your ad perform better, because the better it performs, the more money they can make. So it's in their best interest to make this thing work. And so if you could give them a little bit more on the front end, and then reduce your budget a few days later, that can work. But I would say $5 a day. If you could spend more, definitely do that. I used to answer this question by just saying spend as much as you possibly can, but that was not very helpful. So minimum of $5 a day. All right. So we're going to walk through setting up an ad. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to minimize my screen here, and I'm going to create a couple different windows, and hopefully you guys can see. My full desktop. All right, cool. So you don't see my full desktop here. So what I'm going to do is I'm opening up Ads Manager, and then I'm going to show you. We're just going to take you through the steps here. All right. And again, I'm going to send you these notes. So if it gets a little confusing, don't worry about it. But first thing that we're going to do is you've got to get over to Ads Manager. You can go there. There's a few different ways to get to it. business.facebook.com/ads manager. You're going to end up here. Even if you could just go adsmanager.facebook.com, a few different routes to that, but you want to get to Ads Manager. And then depending on how many ad accounts you've set up, you may need to go get access to your church's ad account, or it may be easier just to create a new one and get reimbursed depending on your responsibility there and your access at the church. But what we're going to do is drop down, and we're going to go to our ad account. You may or may not have multiple ad accounts there. And then we're going to create a campaign. And our campaign objective is going to be leads. Okay. Our goal is to collect information. Our goal is to get people to give us their information so that we can follow up with them about coming to, let's say our Christmas Eve service at 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve. Okay. So that's going to be our goal. So we're going to select leads as the goal. And then we're going to go in here and do a manual leads campaign. Okay. You could do this, but it's just not always best to give Facebook all the control, and because it just doesn't work out all that great for you. So we're going to do a manual leads campaign. So we're going to click continue. And so we've got our campaign name. We're going to go down. We've got all this set. We want to make sure that the AB is turned off and the Advantage campaign budget is turned off. And then we're going to hit next. And so now we'll just leave that named new leads ad sets. You could, call this new Christmas if you want. And the conversion location is going to be an instant form. And this instant form is a form that's going to pop up directly on Facebook. They don't have to go to your website. They can sign up directly there on Facebook because people don't like to leave, or they can sign up directly on Meta, Instagram and Facebook, wherever they are. And people just don't want to click around, So sometimes if we take them to a website, we lose them. And so we're trying to get their information. The good thing about these instant forms is they're logged into Facebook. And so their name and email address, if they've got it in there right, is going to go ahead and auto-populate in this form, where a lot of times all they've got to do is click submit and they're done. So it really makes it easy for them. So we're going to click instant forms. We're going to make sure that we've chosen the page here. So we're choosing our FaithWorks marketing page. You're going to choose your page there. Make sure you've accepted the terms. Performance goal is we want to maximize the number of leads there. And we're going to leave this blank, the cost per result goal. We want to leave dynamic creative off. We don't want Facebook getting carried away with getting all dynamic with stuff. We'll go in and we'll make our daily budget $5, and we're going to run it right up until Christmas Eve there. So, oh no, that's the start date. I'm sorry. We're going to start it. First, we're going to get my little password thing out of the way. So we're going to start it today, and then we're going to set an end date, and we're going to run it all the way up to Christmas Eve at, our Christmas Eve service begins at 5. So we'll run it up right until 4, just in case, right? Okay. So that way we don't, we've done $5 a day. That's about 15, 14 days, whatever that works. 19 days. And so we're looking at whatever 19 times 5 is. Okay. And so you don't have to worry about like going way over budget, as long as you set a daily budget and then set it to turn off at the end of the time. Now you can try some budget scheduling, like I was mentioning. If you wanted to do 10 days or $10 the first few days and then reduce it, but let's don't get too fancy right now. You could even make the ads not run like from midnight to 5 a.m. or something. But that's up to you. So what we're going to do here, what I would typically do is go in here and we're going to find my city. Or actually, we'll just do my church. Well, that's not working. All right, I'm just going to pick a, oh, well, all right, there we go. That's the city that I live in. And I'm going to bring that down to about 15 miles. Let's leave it at 13 miles. So we're going to do a radius there. You could do the advantage audience and just leave the radius there and do your advantage audience. This is going to let Facebook base the audience on people that already like your page, have interacted with your page, and their friends, that sort of thing. So this is the one spot where I am comfortable giving Facebook some of the control, because like I said, it is in their best interest. Now, if we were going to spend a lot of money, then we probably wouldn't do that. We would maybe do a campaign that lets Facebook do some, and then we would do another campaign where we're controlling the audience specifically. But in this case, since we're just talking about, maybe $150, $200, $250, and time is of the essence if you're trying to get this out for Christmas, then that's probably the best place. That's probably a really good option right there, is to create a new audience there and go with that. So once you've selected that audience, we're going to hit next. And now we've got to do this instant form. So I'm going to show you the instant form. All right. So we're going to create our own unique form. We'll call this our Christmas service, Christmas Eve form. Call it whatever you want. Something that I would do is change this to higher intent. More volume is going to get more people signing up, but they're ones that are going to be less likely to attend based on what Facebook knows about them. So this is where I would encourage you to go to higher intent. That's going to be fewer signups, but the ones who do sign up, there's going to be higher intent behind that. And so this is where you can start changing some of the form itself. So you can upload an image here. We'll go. You can pick an image here, and it'll put it in the background right up there. So we're going to use this uploaded image. Headline: join us for Christmas Eve, something like that. Then we're going to get down here into questions. So right now it's just going to be email, full name. What I would encourage you to do, I would suggest adding a question, whether it be the idea here would be to do something that a bot can't do. If you're doing multiple service times, this is where you might say, which service will you be coming to? And they can answer. Or in that case, probably you want to make it a multiple choice. Which service are you coming to? And then, we've got the 5 o'clock and we've got the 7 o'clock, that sort of thing. And you can put those answers in there. Or you could add, if you just have one service, you could ask a question like, how many children will be coming with you? How many people are in your family? Something that they've got to intentionally answer and think about so that they don't accidentally sign up. The other thing that Google or Facebook is going to want you to do is they're going to want you to give a link to a privacy policy on your website. And so you're going to need to have a privacy policy on your website. Basically, there's tons of templates online, but you could even go to ChatGPT, write me a privacy policy for Facebook ads. And what you're basically telling Facebook is that we're not going to collect people's data and do anything with it outside of what we're doing in Facebook. So that's got to be a page on your website. It doesn't have to be in the navigation. You just need that link. that you can put right there. And, your link text would be privacy policy. So that would be, your website .com/privacy, something like that. Okay. Then I would encourage you to, you could add the phone number up there. Some of the questions could be phone number. But you don't want to collect so much information that you start discouraging people. So just get enough information to contact people. The other thing that you probably want to go over here and do is under settings, you want to click open. This way, if your church members get served the ad, and remember, this is not going to show up on your newsfeed. This is not going to show up like on your profile. You're not going to be able to go to your profile and look for it. You would have to go to the Facebook ads library or your Facebook ad account. But it's not just going to show up automatically on the Facebook profile of the church. So when you click open under settings, people can then go in and share. When they see the ad, they can share it with their friends. And so now anybody, you've got a little bit more organic spreading and sharing of this ad going on, and more people see it, and that saves you some money. Boom. All right. So now, okay, so we can't create the form because I haven't filled out all of those things. But once they're filled out, if I add the privacy policy properly, well, let's see here. So let me do it right there. Enter a message. Blah blah blah. And all right, let's see if that makes them happy. Boom, there we go. Okay, hallelujah. All right, so we've got our form. And now we can go back up here, because what we've got to deal with now is the ad creative. We're not going to get into, I'm going to send you this. Basically, once you've created the ad, you can do some variations. But what we want to start with is essentially getting your ads in here. Coming in here and editing your media. So now we want to replace this with, uploading either using a post that's already in our profile, or you're going and uploading something that's fresh on our desktop that we've created for this. The video that you had your pastor record, you can bring that in there. We'll just use this. This is the video I think I made for this actual deal. So we're going to have to go in and replace these, right? So now Facebook is going to show us what all these different ones look like, okay? And obviously, I didn't go through every one. You would need to do that and make sure that you've got the placement right. You've got the photos replaced on every one. And then now this is where we're going to go in and add that primary text that we were talking about. The primary text being this stuff right here. And then we've got the headline, which is down here. We're unwrapping joy. Then you've got your descriptions there. And once we do a headline, check it out. You can add another headline and another headline. With description, you can't do that. With primary text, you can do 5 of those. So you could do some different variations. So now you can end up with multiple versions of the headline, multiple versions of the variant primary text. And then if you add, another video, you've got tons of different combinations of those, and it's going to work really well. It's going to give Facebook a ton to work with. So going back to what a lot of us normally do, we take a picture, we take the sermon series graphic, or our Christmas welcome graphic. Then we write some text that says, join us for Christmas. And then we write the text and we give Facebook $50 and say, hey, all right, show it. And know what? There's not really anything for people to respond to. There's not anything that happens if they do They like it, they share it, but they may not remember it. So what we're doing, we're getting some effective ad creative, we're getting an effective video. Now we're creating a lead form that they're going to give us some information. And so let's say now they filled out the information. What are we going to do with the information once we publish those ads? What comes next? So you've implemented your ad setup. You've got all your stuff in here. We've changed this to learn more for our call to action. We've got our headlines and our text in there. So we've done everything while we've created our lead form. And so now the ads are running, they're working. People are starting to check out your church. You're excited to welcome new families. But what are we going to do after people read the form? Okay, there's a lot of text in here. But what my suggestion is that we incorporate some automated and some manual personalized follow-up. And so what I want to show you real quick is some ways to do some automated follow-up. Now there's lots of different ways. You may be super tech savvy and you've got a church management platform that would tie in with Facebook lead ads. Some of them do, and they can pull that information, the name and the phone number and email, and then they start communicating. But let's assume that you don't have that and you're just looking for something simple for Christmas. What I would recommend is Zapier. Now you're going to need a plan. You're going to need a paid plan. You just need to cancel the account when you're not running ads. So there's a little bit of an expense there. So what we're going to do is Zapier, depending on how you say it, lets you create just these links between multiple apps. And so what we want to do is we're going to go in here and create a Zap. And what I'm going to do is pretty easy. So I've signed up for my account. I'm paying for the account. And now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go look for Facebook lead ads. In this case, we're going to go with business admins. That's probably the one you will need, unless you just have one Facebook ad account that you're managing. If you don't see your page, then you need to try the other one. Okay, so we're going to choose an event. So a new lead. So that means they fill out, when someone fills out that form I just showed you, we're saying that's the trigger. When someone fills out the form, that's the trigger for you to do the next thing that we're going to give you. Okay, and so we're going to click continue. We're going to pick a form. We're going to say Christmas Eve form, continue. Test the trigger. It's working. Continue is selected. Yeah. So we want to do two things. The first thing that I want to encourage you to do is SMS. We're going to just search SMS by Zapier. And what we're saying is when the lead form comes in, we want you to send them a text. So the event's going to be send them an SMS. You'll have to connect a number. Like in this case, we've got our Google number. You can buy a Twilio number from them for like $2, $2 or $3 right there in the app. Different ways to connect a phone number there. Really doesn't matter, in my opinion, what number it comes from, as long as you identify yourself. You can choose a number there, and so let me get out of here. The message is going to be thanks for signing up to join us on Christmas Eve. I would put a link to your map. I would put, let us know if you have any questions. Make that more than I just did, but not too long, but make it really relevant. Thanks for signing up. We're saving you a seat. Remember, it starts at 6. Here's our address. Make sure you include that address because people don't really know. And then we're going to, you could insert data, like if you wanted to insert their name into the text straight from Facebook, you can do that. But we're not going to do that. And so now we're going to skip the test for now. And boom, you're ready to publish. Or the other thing I would encourage you to do is come over here and add another step, because you're going to send them a text message. But what I would encourage you to do is come over to Google Docs. And actually, let's do Google Sheets. create a spreadsheet to where when someone does this now, we are going to find a worksheet. It'll create one if there's not one in existence. We're going to click continue. And so now you're gonna title the spreadsheet. And so we won't walk through filling out all of this stuff right here. But you're gonna enter the text, whatever you're gonna call it, the title of the worksheet. Should it be considered a success when nothing is found? That's no. Create one if the Google Sheet doesn't exist yet, and then you should be good to go. Basically, all you're wanting it to do is create a blank worksheet and then start pulling in all those values into a Google worksheet that you can easily go access. Now you can go in Facebook. You can go in Facebook Leads Manager. It's a little tricky to find, and all of the information will be there. But to me, it's easier to feed all that information over there into a Google Sheet. And I've got the instructions in here for you. How to make they're all right here, and I'll send this to you. All the steps of how to connect to Facebook, how to connect to the Google Sheet, how to do that, send by SMS. Those steps are all in there, and you can use it. And that way, now what you could do is get a couple volunteers to take that Google Doc and start calling people, a week before, a few days before the Christmas Eve service, remind them, invite them to be there, and just make that personal connection, because the show up rates are going to go exponentially if they get more of a personal connection than just that SMS. The text is good, but the personal phone call, the personal follow-up, that means a whole lot more. Now, the other thing that we want to talk about just real quick, and we're going to land the plane, optimizing your ads. Once your ads have been running for 50% of the scheduled time, if we're doing this for 20 days, so once we're about 10 days in, it's time to optimize the ads. And so that just means we're going to see how they've been performing, and we're going to go in there, and you're going to see multiple ads. For instance, if we've gotten multiple ads, you're going to come in here and you'll start seeing that. Let's see. I don't want to bore you with a ton of data here, but what you can start seeing is which of these ads, you're going to have multiple ads in here, and you're going to be able to see which of these ads are getting results. This one's not. So we can see that whatever combination of photo and stuff this had, it really wasn't doing that well. So we're going to turn it off. But the ones that are working, we're going to leave those on, and leave the ones on that are working. So that's what we mean by optimize. Now, since we're just talking about 20 days, I wouldn't get too worried about that, because Facebook is going to help you along in some ways, but you'll be able to see in your ads which ad set is the video getting more people to sign up, how many conversions, how many lead forms were filled out for the video version, versus then when you go create the ad set that is just a photo, you may see that, hey, we've had one sign up from the photo, we've had 14 signups from the video. Well, let's just go ahead and turn the photo off, let the video have all the budget, and let's spend more on that, because we're getting way more bang for our buck in that case. All right. Maybe you're getting maybe you've gotten 5 signups for the video and 5 signups for the photo, but it cost $75 to get those 5 through the video, and it only costs $12 to get them through the photo ad. So in that case, that cost per acquisition on the video is way higher. So it's way cheaper to get people to sign up. I can get more people to sign up for the same amount of money using the photo. So then maybe I can turn that video off, or that version of whatever combination that's just more expensive. I turn that one off and let all the budget go to the one that's doing the best. All right. So that's a lot. I know I threw a lot at you. And I want to say, once they've shown up, they've signed up, they show up. Maybe you're going to, something we do at my church, we've got a new gift for them. When they show up on a Sunday, we're going to give them something if they visit on Christmas Eve. And so you've probably already thought of those kinds of things, but that's a big deal. and just make sure that you care for them once they do show up. Maybe whoever volunteer that you get to call them on the week before, maybe those volunteers could be waiting for the guests in the foyer and watching for them and helping them find a seat. But get creative with it. Just take care of them once they show up, because that will determine whether or not they're going to keep coming back. And but I promise you, if you'll these will work, and this works for us. We're doing this for lots and lots of churches. I've been doing it for a long time, and it works really well. And it is something, if you'll just carve out a little bit of time, you can totally do these on your own. And like I said, we're going to email you these steps. If you get bogged down, shoot me an email at jono@faithworksmarketing.com, and I would love to help you troubleshoot that, figure out what's going on, and help you in any way that we can. We're here for you. We love you. We love what you do for the church, and just praying that the Christmas season is not too stressful. I know how crazy it can get when you're in church staff world getting ready for Christmas. Lots going on, and sometimes it's easy just to start thinking, hey man, if I could just get through this, just get me to December 26th and I can rest. I get that, but I know that God's going to do some amazing things through your ministry. So be encouraged, and really appreciate what you do. Next month we're going to be back. We're going to be doing another one of these workshops, but it's going to be all about how to optimize your Google business profile, so that when someone is searching church near me, they will get that your church is going to be way more likely to show up. And there's lots of things, lots of easy things that you can do. I just did this presentation last month in person at a conference, and man, it was super practical. Everybody got a lot out of it. And so I want to give that to you for free. I will just literally walk you through every little thing that you need to do to your Google business profile to make Google as happy as possible. So be watching. We'll send you an email invite to that. We'll get through the new year, and we'll do that in early to mid January. So be on the lookout. And again, thanks for being here. Thanks so much. Really value your time. I hope you found that helpful. If you need anything, definitely shoot me an email. I want to make sure that I didn't miss any questions. All right, guys, look, thanks again. Have a great day. Have a great Christmas. Praying for you. And if FaithWorks can do anything for you, let us know. Appreciate you.